the summer solstice, and the party on the hill. All of that aside, there are a great many things in Ithan. Can I paint you a picture of a summer in Ithan? A typical summer, that is, not an extraordinary one. I would be unable to capture it all, and I will undoubtedly fall short in my attempt. But I will try, for you. On the solstice, everyone gathers at the Pirre estate. The estate lies on a stepped hill. The stone mansion tops its highest tier. A courtyard and garden, surrounded by hedges, adorns the edge, like a bushy collar, deep, lush green. Within, Lord Pirre and his family take their feast, and watch as the levels beneath celebrate on the great lawn, with lemonade and peach tea and shandy and sangria. But that's not all. The feast changes by year, but last year it featured the best peach cobbler I had ever tasted. I cannot give you much insight about the higher tiers, because frankly I myself am a common man. All I can tell you, and I am confident in this, they are nowhere as fun as the bottom. Each tier is larger than the last. All three have music, but the top two only have one string band, and every now and again someone will sing a peaceful summer hymn. Where at the top there is one dais, a high table facing the hill, seating Lord Pirre's family and guests. In the middle there is a huge table that forms a square, with the rich and lesser but still esteemed guests. The bottom of the hill is where invitations are no longer required, where tablecloths and carpets are forgotten, and it's the only level that has a dance floor. Half a dozen bands show up and flank the grounds, featuring strings, drums, winds, and vocals. I even saw an accordion last year. The tables are long and old, of well-worn wood with stains of beer and fruit juice and sauce. Even still, there are far more guests than seats, so many take their plates standing, and by the end of the night the dancing has spread to overtake the tables, and any abandoned cobbler, though you'd have to be a fool not to finish that cobbler, is splattered by jiving feet. But where to begin in describing you the wonder of the Ithan summer solstice? For the children there are jugglers, and always someone with a massive bubble wand. Every guest receives a crown of summer flowers, even though many are tossed at the feet of the musicians after an especially spirited song, or at the feet of the May Queen, or thrown across the dance floor. At the far edge there is a tent with food and barrels of shandy and wine. There is always a game of tug-of-war over a pit of tomatoes, which by dark turns into a spot for wrestling matches between eager amateur participants, surrounded by cheering fans and betting spectators. Call me old-fashioned, but I always dress in my finest attire, so I stay away from the tomato fights. After all, I could not bear to slip and fall in the tomato sauce and lose my fight in front of my date, even if a victory would make me look that much more the man. The past year, I helped set up the tables and tents. Where other days of the year it would still be pre-dawn dark, it was a white, hot summer morning. A sweat formed at my brow and hairline before I even knew I'd broken one. All morning we moved sections of table into place as the mist evaporated from the hill and the dew shrunk to nothing. I felt silly, sweaty, and red-faced, soaked at the belt and underarms, straight through my shirt. When we were done, Lord Pirre sent his house servants down to us with trays of peaches and crumb, a peek at the cobbler that his cooks were mass-producing in the kitchens of the looming castle above. At midnight, when the sun set, Patty rose and I kissed. Everyone kisses at midnight, like New Year's Eve. When I opened my eyes, it was dark. I blinked to adjust, until the fireworks crashed above us and rained golden ash down on us. Boom, crackle, crackle, shh, it went. Boom, crackle, crack, shh, and we all cheered. And before the dancing filled the darkness and the night, I stole a glance, wherein I beheld and drank in the vision of Patty Rose's smiling face, in knowing wonder of the flashing lights that reflected in her dark eyes, and then cast shifting shadows across her cheeks. From then to dawn, our hands never left each other, as we spun to accordion, bellies full of ripe summer harvest, and hearts full of delight. As we spun, the lights blurred, but she never did. I lifted her to see beyond the throngs of the crowd, to the forest edges that surrounded our seasonal ritual, to where the lightning bugs sought to join in igniting in round unison, backed by thunderous bullfrogs. Down through the night, each star burned its brightest beside a full gleaming moon, behind floating bubbles and sparks slowly sinking to dance with us in the trodden grass. Just reliving that night has compelled me to yawn and prepare for an early bedtime. We can't dance all night and sleep all the next day every day. But the summer solstice is a nice exception and an easily worthy special occasion.